One, go.
Hi, I'm Caitlin DiBiase, and I'm in fourth year product design.
Okay. How do you feel about the workshop?
I felt that it was very helpful for me because although I did uh, a workshop with Arduino a year ago, none of it stuck. So it was a very good beginner's run through of it. And I think what helped me the most was when you did the physical demonstration with Eclipse
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a very visual learner and things with props and things that are visible I can figure out and they stick. But things like this I've never felt confident with because it's all kind of unseen virtual programming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
yeah.
So, how do you find the way I teach?
I found
Is
it
that too hard to understand? Is that not clear?
No, I found it to be good. Sometimes I have trouble like looking at a screen that's on the wall
Mm-hmm.
and then making my screen kind of look the same way, but kind of because I didn't sleep and stuff. But yeah, I think maybe the best situation would be if there's two teachers though, and there's like you at the front of the room and then a helper to go around to each person.
Yeah.
Because those are the only lulls when people need to get their stuff sorted and then
I have to kind
you
of have to
have to
go through
tend to
myself.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, but you're only one person.
Yep. Anyways, let's go through these tools then.
Okay.
So, we can start with explaining
Sorry to
your idea.
wrinkly.
So it's okay. You can explain while you're explaining the tool. You can also explain about your idea as well. But you can say, what is this tool about? How does it work? And how does that help your ideas?
Mm,
Is there any good or bad point with each of these tools? Yeah?
okay. I feel like there may be a little bit out of order. Well, this is the equation.
Let's start with this one maybe.
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
start with okay.
That's
So
that's
so
the start. That's the first one.
well the concept is to remotely link a user to an animal in the wild. That's their feral pet. Um, and yeah, I have a whole project that goes under that narrative, but that's the basics of it. And so one of the Internet of Things objects that will link them is kind of like a breath in a jar that will breathe in time with the, in this case, polar bear. And so the force is the air or the breath, and then exhaling and inhaling do two opposite um, outputs. The exhaling makes the fan that will be in the base of my prototype blow forward, and the inhaling makes it reverse and suck downwards, and trying to visualize the airflow in some way with fog or something like that. Um, and so this is the equation that breaks that down. And so if the animal exhales, the fan will blow forward or perhaps clockwise. And then if it inhales, it will reverse and hopefully suck the air back down. And if neither of those happen and the breathing is paused, then the fan will turn off, just like everyone who breathes. They're not just always in a state of exhaling or inhaling, as Gap pointed out to me. And this is a diagram of the inputs and outputs. And so pretty much, and we decided that a flex sensor would be good um, for to make my prototype react to it to make it work, because the end result will kind of be like an exhibit for a degree show. So if someone wiggles the flex sensor or air, then that will give an input to make it either exhale or inhale, and that will make the fog or air react accordingly. And then this is another breakdown of that with the inputs and the outputs, as I kind of explained in this one.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're all very helpful.
So this, you said, is very helpful, but it's helpful in what kind of way?
It's helpful in getting it out of my head because I can't quite wrap my mind around all of this since I am not tech savvy and never make projects that are technology based. I shy away from that. So it's very good, since I said like I'm a visual learner, to be able to have it out on my desk and look at it, and it makes it quite easy. Like when I went to Maplins, I showed them these because sometimes I get kind of like in front of people that know technology well, I kind of like forget the words and stuff. So the guy could understand more or less what I needed with quite a quick read of these, and they're very helpful tools when it's just to help it not be just a bunch of jumbled up ideas and words in your brain, and to lay it out.
Nice. Yeah. So how does this, this way of doing this different from the way you used to do before in terms of just normal design project, not just for this tech savvy project?
This outlines it in about as basic way as something can be outlined, because this is still technically complicated, but this makes it quite basic and approachable. And I don't always I'm kind of learning the value of outlining things in simple terms, like when we have to make process journals and stuff like that, which are basically just like our history of thinking through the project and why we made the decisions that we did. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, how did I make that decision? And I backtrack and stuff. But if you just bullet it and stuff, or you just outline it simply, you can kind of, fill in all the gaps. So cool. Yeah, I like that this is like an outline of a thing that has a lot more underneath the surface. Yeah.
So does this tool help you to develop your idea as well? Or does it not? Or is it just showing what it is?
I honestly think the most development that could come at this point would be actually making, which I'm getting into now, because I found once you start making things, normally happens much differently than you thought it would ideally work out. So I think making things is really the only way to like really, really figure it out. But just like in the way where we wrote the equation, and like considering that living things aren't always inhaling and exhaling, and sometimes they're just in between breath, the fan turns off, like that is an insight that we made without making it, that I would not have made otherwise, just trying to describe to, or just trying to work it out and just being like, well, it has to go in and out. It's like it also has to stop.
All right. Okay. So last question: would you use these tools again in your normal design project?
In a normal design project, that's very interesting. I actually didn't quite consider that, but I think for most projects it would be helpful. I mean, they're all different, but they all are kind of like an action and reaction when it's like user-based stuff. So actually, at least this form of outlining it in this most rudimentary ways possible would be quite helpful, because I think that's a huge problem that most of the students, including myself, have with way overcomplicating things, and then someone comes up to you and says, describe that project in 2 sentences, and you can never do it because you're so in your head. And yeah, it's just you've made it overcomplicated and overthought it. So to be really honest and just break it down like bone simple, I think there's a huge value in that.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.